For any Xbox or PlayStation codes or cheap games on any platform, use the referral link in the description. It'll take you to g2a.com. Use the promo code CHES over there and you'll get yourself 3% cash back. For all No Identity merchandise, hats, hoodies and t-shirts, follow the link in the description down below to the No Identity Fan Fibre website. Hey guys, welcome to episode number 1 of Season 5 here in the Career Mode RTG. We will be playing in Europe for the very first time in this season. As you join me, we're actually still in Season 4. I missed checking one thing in the squad report and season roundup of the last episode. I didn't show you the board expectations for the season and how we fared up against them. So as you can see, we didn't actually do that well with regards actual objectives from the board, but obviously in terms of where we finished in the league, it was an extremely successful season. Overall, actually, I'll just go through the individuals because they'll be covered in the overall as well. We met one of the short-term youth development options, which was sign at least 2 younger players. Of course, we signed a centre mid and a goalkeeper, but we didn't sign a defender. So one of the 2 for the youth development. Brand exposure, we completed that very early on in the season with a 10% increase to the stadium's capacity with regards to season ticket holders. Financial, what is to reduce the wage budget by £4,250 a week. We actually increased it by upwards of £300,000 a week, so didn't really do that well with regards to financial management, to be honest, but we needed the calibre of player that we had to do as well as we did. And, of course, as you can see there, we want us to finish mid-table, and we finished 4th and are in the 4th qualifying round for the Champions League next year, which hopefully we'll be able to get through to get to the Champions League proper. And unfortunately, we didn't do that well in the FA Cup or the Football League Cup, and we weren't involved in Europe last year, so no continental objectives whatsoever. I'm now going to go into Season 5 here in-game, and we'll see if we get a decent-sized budget, and we'll see what the expectations are for next season with regards the board, etc. And also, we'll have a look at, in fact, I'll probably play one friendly game as well, because, of course, Mitchell Weiser will be joining us on a pre-contract, and it'd be nice to see him in the starting lineup and test him out in episode number 1 of Season 5, so that we can then make decent choices with regards where else we need to strengthen, depending on the budget. The budget is going to be a big thing this year. We're going to have to wait and see. Yeah, they're very happy. Good. I would have thought you would be, finishing 4th in the Premier League. We're going to have to contemplate what we do budget-wise. If we get given a decent-sized budget, then great. We can actually make big moves in the transfer market without having to sell anyone on. But as you can see there, Jake Clark-Salter wants to leave. He's pulling Dimitri Payet and trying to force his way out of the club. And I would be open to letting him go, because we could get a huge transfer fee for him and bring in someone of amazing quality to replace him. So what the budget is given to us by the board, the size of that is going to be important, as is whether we decide to sell players like Joel Asoro and Jake Clark-Salter, etc. But we will make those decisions depending on what budget we get and what the board want from us in the upcoming season, and we'll skip there now. Drop the video a like if you enjoy, subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on any of Season 5 or any other videos that go up on the channel, and let's head into the new season. First thing to do in the new season is decide which pre-season tournament we want to take part in. Let's have a look. What's the basically, what I'm most interested in is which one gives us the most money, and because we're now an established Premier League side, the size of tournament is actually vastly superior to any previous year. Now, the most money is this one, but we have Leverkusen, Atletico Madrid, Napoli and Barcelona all in there for that one. And we have to bear in mind how far we reckon we can get in the competition. So, considering this is the lowest value, but I think I could win that competition rather than maybe only getting to the semi-final of that one and maybe even only the group stage, potentially semi-final of this one. I'm actually going to go for, yes, it has the lowest potential prize pool, but we stand a better opportunity of winning the whole prize pool in that middle one. So we'll accept that pre-season tournament. Hopefully we can win it and get ourselves an extra £9 million to the budget. Champions Trophy. Oh, that's the thing. Pre-contract player arrival. Emery Moore is gone, and Mitchell Weiser is now part of the squad, which is superb. And as we mentioned, probably going to play him on the right-hand side of midfield rather than at right back. Antonio we can use still as a squad player, and we will throw Mitchell Weiser there on the right-hand side of midfield. He's by default a right back, but as you can see here, he can play on at right mid. 4-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves, which suits a midfield position. Has 88 ball control, 86 crossing, and decent passing, as well as obviously handy tackle stats as well. Plus, he's very, very quick. I think last year he may actually have been a right mid, so that's an improvement already to the side, from 77 rated at right mid to 82 rated, and a player that is going to be absolutely brilliant in that role as well. And obviously for squad depth, with regards to all of the competitions we'll be involved in this year, that's absolutely superb too. So I'm really pleased with that. That we've already strengthened, and we're only a day into the new season. Now, I've thrown Bennett into the starting lineup ahead of Davinson Sanchez at present, because he's got a higher overall. Bennett we will look to sell this season, so I'll add him to the transfer list. And Jamie McLaren wants to leave, but I'd prefer to keep hold of him if I possibly can. But we know we want to sell Bailey Wright and Benya. In fact, they may still be on the transfer list. Bailey Wright is, and we will throw Benya onto the transfer list now. So hopefully he will get sold this year as well. And I don't think, really, there's anyone else we're desperate to move on out of the club at present. Like I say, we would consider selling Jake Clark-Salter. He's valued at £40 million, so obviously we could command an extremely high fee for him. And Joel Asoro was also a potential player that we would look to sell on to raise funds. £44.5 million is his valuation. Of course, Lozano was our main striker last year, and a very good striker at that, although he's only 79 rated, but he was very, very effective for us. And we just saw there what the transfer budget was. It's only £18.5 million. Which, considering we finished 4th in the league and got a £107 million prize fund, I think that's a rather stingy decision by the board to only give me that sort of transfer budget. So we will be looking to sell someone on. Who that someone is will, well, A, depend on what offers come in before I transfer list anyone, and B, what you guys reckon in the comments. I'd lean towards Joel Asoro being the player that leaves first. I mean, I could just sell them both, and then we could really stack the squad with incredible talent. But I will leave it up to you. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, we might contemplate bringing in another central midfielder, and then have Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Ernan on the bench with Benyat gone, and a new holding midfield player in there. A new centre-back in place of Jake Clark-Salter to go alongside Bennett, and still have Davinson Sanchez and Harry Darling with regards backup. And at striker, we have Lozano and McLaren. McLaren wants to leave, but I want to keep him. And Joel Asoro we could sell, and then bring in someone who's unbelievable, and then they would start ahead of Lozano, and Lozano and McLaren would be rotation instead of Asoro and McLaren. We would still have that squad depth. Still going to be looking, in fact I might use some of that budget immediately on a new high-rated youth scout whilst I think of it, because we don't have anyone in the youth academy at present. Kean McDonald is available, so we will set up a scout network immediately for him in England for 9 months. That's only going to cost £162,000. Now, we've got a 5-star scout in here. We haven't, but we've got a 4-star scout. So we'll sign Andrei, was it Kononov? Sign Andrei Kononov, and we will send him to Spain. Let's send Kononov to Spain. Or Germany. No, Spain tend to have some good youngsters. Spain have really good youngsters. So we'll send him there. There we go. That's some of our budget spent already. And they're out looking now for talent. Hopefully they can come back with some decent options. And the board objectives are very important this year. Let's have a look. Youth development. Sign 1 youth academy player to the midfield. That's fine. We can do that, of course. Sign 1 youth player to the senior team in the same position they were scouted. Or in the same season they were scouted, sorry. And play them in 5 matches, either as part of the starting 11 or sub. Currently, nobody's eligible because, obviously, we don't have anybody in our youth system. But because we've got those 2 good youth scouts now, we stand a good chance of being able to do that one. They want me to sign a crucial first-team player in a midfield... sign 1 crucial first-team player assigned to a midfielder or midfielder position. That's not very well phrased, is it? Never mind. Basically, sign an incredible midfielder. So that kind of goes hand in hand with what we were thinking about, or what I was thinking, I don't think I've actually put that to you yet, about replacing, or not replacing, but moving Ruben Loftus-Cheek down to the bench and signing an incredible holding midfielder. So that's seems like that's going to be the best thing to do for that one. Financial wise, finished the season with a profit margin of 25.5 million. That's the biggest financial requirement we've seen so far in this series. And provided we can have another successful season in the league, we can make £100 million just from finishing in the top 4. Obviously, the amount of money we're going to be able to make in the transfer window as well will help, but the plan is to make money to then spend money in the transfer window. So we'll wait and see what happens with regards to that one. And they want us to finish in the top 4 in the league and reach the semi-final of the FA Cup. So improves expectations there. And despite it being our first season in the Champions League and the fact that we're still only in the 4th qualification round for it, they want us to reach the semi-final. This is hands down the most difficult season we will have faced for a very, very long time in career mode. This will be more difficult than any of the seasons we faced at Everton in this position. And we have Rosenborg for the knockout rounds of the Champions League. So I'm confident we can get through that. I'm going to go and play Real Sociedad now. And that will end today's episode. But please hit me with as many suggestions as you possibly can. Let me know whether you want Clark Salter and Osoro or Clark Salter or Osoro to go. I have an offer here for Anthony Lozano, but I don't want to sell him. He's been our best striker so far at Premier League level. And obviously, if we're going to sell a striker, it might as well be Osoro to give us the funds to bring in someone absolutely world class if we possibly can. So that is the main aim. Another transfer offer here, this time for Aidan Watson, who's our young goalkeeper, of course. I will be rejecting all offers for him. He's most definitely staying as my number 1. We don't want offers coming in for him and finding him becoming unsettled at the club. We're going to get one more transfer offer, maybe. 2 emails there, although one might be... No, you don't really have press conferences for pre-season games, do you? Let's have a look. Harry Darling wants to play. Jonathan Cooper wants to play. Okay, well, I will contemplate playing either of you. Rico Henry is back at the club now. And we have a transfer offer for Jake Clark Salter of £43 million. I will counter that with 70. And we'll see what Arsenal say. Even if you guys reckon we should maybe look to keep Jake Clark Salter, I'm not sure I could turn down an offer of £70 million. So, and we could easily replace him with someone better for £70 million. So let's go and play... I'll just auto-replace. Let's go and play the first game of pre-season. And we'll advance as far as the second game of pre-season in this episode to see if there's any more developments transfer-wise. And hopefully we can have a good start to the season. See how Mitchell Weiser gets on in that new right-sided midfielder role. Nice tackle by Mitchell Weiser. And we are away. Lozano's there in field and he's found well. And we'll poke that for Jamie McLaren. Can he get there? No, he can't. Up we go, Kieran. He's knocked that into Paredes. Forward into Lozano. Oh, it spun the way of the defender. But, Lozano's done really well. And beautifully tucked into the bottom corner. That low finish trickling away down into that bottom left-hand side. Gets that defender overly committed there. I think actually that's Augustinsson, the left-back we looked at earlier on in the series a couple of seasons ago after he had a very good pre-season game against us. This time around in pre-season, for a new club, he's actually not playing that well. 1-0 Cambridge United after 21 minutes. Wan-Mi down the right-hand side. That's a very good cross. Trippier does well to stop them from getting a header on target there. That would have been rather frustrating to go back to 1-1 before half-time. Well, I'll be frustrated to go back to 1-1 regardless of what time of the match it is. Well done, Tues. Play this cross here, though, looking for Weiser. He's in goal on his debut. Oh, but Ramirez denies him an opening goal of his career. Paredes will whip this corner. I say whip. It wasn't the best of deliveries, actually, but Bennett did well, and the defender cleared that away. Loftus-Cheek should win this header. Has done, but it's not the best. But Trippier will get to the loose ball. Out to Kieran Gibbs, who's left-footed, of course, so we'll work it back on his left. Squeeze that through there, looking for Lozano. Nearly, but not quite. Well picked off by Lenormand. Looks like we'll stay at 1-0 up before half-time. Happy with the throw. Yazbal back to him. Well, that's a dangerous ball in. Harry Darling, I say deals with it, but not very well. Put Elliot Bennett under some pressure there. Oh, that's an even better ball in. And Cooper, again, I'd say deals with it, but it wasn't dealt with very well. Benyat eventually finally gets it clear, and Lotan can keep that in, and we will now finally just settle ourselves down and build a hopefully counter-attack of some sort. Play Lotan in, maybe go for 1-2. That pass wasn't meant for Jamie McLaren. It's supposed to go to Benyat in the middle. Never mind. Wanmi back there to Gastanyaga, into Abu. Sociedad starting to come alive here in the second half of the second half. And they have themselves an equaliser too. I couldn't out-muscle the man there with the defender. And he squeezed it home. Was it... Who was it that was with him? Was it Bennett or Darling? I'm not sure. I think it was Bennett, actually. It's gone through the keeper. Really poor goalkeeping from Jack Cooper there. Very bad goalkeeping from him. That's why Watson is my #1 keeper right now, because chances like that could be make or break with regards cup competition this year, especially against European teams. So hopefully our 84 rated youngster will make saves with chances like that. A lot better than our current 77 rated backup. Nearly squeezed that through there, looking for Joel Asoro, who's come off the bench, but we are at 1-1 now in this group stage game with 20 minutes to go. Nice tackle by Anand. Zedos picks up the loose ball. Got runners everywhere. Go to McLaren though. Back across to Zedos, and then around the corner there looking for Benyat. Oh, got caught there. Penalty given. I was waiting to see what happened there. It almost happened in slow motion as the tackle took ages to make connection, and Benyat took an age to fall down, and I wasn't sure whether the goalkeeper was going to give it. In the end, he did, and we have the opportunity to get our lead back again. Yeah, you see him almost went down in slow motion. Well, Joel Asoro was on it, so we'll let him take it, and bang! Close to missing it, but it does find the back of the net. 83rd minute, Cambridge United 2. Real Sociedad 1. We are back in front. Really good penalty. Soro into Benyat. Lotan is out wide, and we've found him well. And Jamie McLaren's in the middle, and the dink ball will find him, and he's beaten the keeper to it, but he can't find the target. Oh, McLaren had only one option there to hit that first time. I didn't have enough space to be able to take a touch first, but just trying to help it on its way, but just couldn't find the back of the net. Never mind Jamie, he's played well in this one, Jamie McLaren, but my finishing with him has let him down, but it's been my fault, not his, so we will let him off. McLaren up for the header. I'm not sure who won that, but it's dropped to a Real Sociedad man in Abu. Mistimed the tackle there with Benyat, and Oyarzabal is in behind, but Bradley Halliday picks up the loose ball, and we'll play that down the line to Zedos. Hopefully the referee won't blow his final whistle. Enough time for us to try and perhaps get a third goal here. Well, I wanted to try and get a third goal there, and with so many players on the overlap, I'm pretty sure I would have, but never mind. A 2-1 win, a win nonetheless. Had that been 1-1 at that stage, I'd have been absolutely livid. As you can see, didn't keep possession that well, but they are a Spanish side, and they do keep possession very well in La Liga. But we limited the opportunities they had on goal. One shot on target, which unfortunately they scored, but all 3 points for us, which is fantastic news. So that's a positive start. We'll jump back to the transfer window now, and we'll see if anything else happens before that second friendly. We've had a transfer offer for Jonathan Cooper. I think I said Jack Cooper in the game itself, so apologies for getting his name wrong. But yes, he made a mistake, but he's only 17. There's absolutely no reason to sell either of my goalkeepers this season, so we won't be doing such a thing. There's a couple of days for the game against Searle, so we will see if something happens between now and then. If not, that will be where we leave it for today. And it appears... No, there's an email. It's a transfer offer for Anthony Lozano. I'm going to reject all offers for him now. So Anthony Lozano is staying, as is as are both of our goalkeepers. But we're waiting to hear back from Arsenal with regards to that Jake Clark-Selter potential deal. Navarrete is currently on international duty at the Copa America, as is Davinson Sanchez, and someone else was as well, I think. Just Davinson Sanchez? Just Davinson Sanchez and Navarrete then. I could have sworn someone else was, but never mind. That is the situation of the team right now. Right, let's move Rico Henry back here just for OCD. There we go. Everyone's in position order again. So I'll probably have to record, in fact I am going to have to record tomorrow's episode ahead of time to ensure that I can still keep up with the daily videos, as I tend to do during these pre-season tournaments. So I'll play Searle and Fiorentina. Well, I'll go and record that video now, but we won't advance any further than the end of the Fiorentina game, so I can get as many of your suggestions on board and take on as much of your feedback as possible, so that we can make the right moves in this transfer window and the moves that you want me to make, most importantly. So drop the video a like if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel too if you haven't already. I'll see you next time.